Hi viewers, in today's video we'll demonstrate how to install a PostgreSQL DB on Ubuntu Linux, which is the version 20.04 is the version number for Ubuntu. So first of all, we'll update all the packages. Then we can issue the command for upgrading any of the packages. So this is necessary before installing anything on Linux or Ubuntu, so that everything is up to date. And then we'll reboot the system, and so our secure shell has been disconnected because the system on cloud is in reboot phase. Then we need to connect our system once it's up. So it is up now, and we have connected to the system, and the secure shell is available. The green prompt with the dollar sign, which is a secure shell prompt. So we'll start with the various commands, and there are prerequisites which need to be installed, such as these one: Vim editor, bash completion, and download manager, wget, World Wide Web Git, which is a download manager. So these are already installed. Anyhow, there are so many steps involved. First of all, we need to install the database, and then we need to also install the PostgreAdmin utility to handle or manage the websites. So using the download manager, we will download the package for PostgreSQL, and we'll add the repository. So the key file needed to be downloaded. So that is now saying OK. And here is our repository already added. We need to have a PostgreSQL version 13. So now we need to update also. Once we have added the repository, we need to update the package. This is up to date now. And now we need to issue the install command for PostgreSQL database itself. Version number is 13, which is latest now. And then there is a package client utilities are there, so it will start the process. It is also downloading and then unpacking. Everything will be done in few minutes. The progress bar is shown at the bottom, so it's almost done. Triggers have been processed. So this was the command. And now it is showing that we can start the database by issuing the command at the top. And so we are now checking the service status of PostgreSQL, which is active. In this case, it is in green. It is showing that the PostgreSQL service is in running state. Then we can issue the next commands. Uh, Basically, we need to log in into the PostgreSQL prompt itself, and then we can test some user rights, and also uh, we can create and drop the databases, so that we are sure that now the PostgreSQL service is running and in working state. So the status is clearly here, running status. Main services in the running status. we are checking whether the service is in enabled state. So it is enabled. It means whenever I boot up the system, it will auto start. So it means it is in enabled state. Now we'll SU connect with the PostgreSQL, which is super user command shell, in order to check it. Uh, we have switched the user. We have switched the user to PostgreSQL, and here we are now issuing the command, for example, to change the PostgreSQL password. Now the alter command has been issued. Okay, now we have cleared the screen, and now PostgreSQL prompt, which is in hash shell is visible here, and here we can issue the SQL commands. Connection info is showing that you are connected to Postgres as a user to the Postgres SDB itself. So we'll issue the create database command just for testing purpose whether it is creating our database or not. Yeah, it has created the database, and then we can also issue a command to create a new user, just a test user with a password. So the password is written, and it has created the new role or new user it has created, and it means the PostgreSQL service is just running and functional. So we have tested by creating the database as well as the new user. So we'll now drop the database we just created here, and the database is dropped. Now we'll drop the user as well. Yeah, it has dropped the user. We can open the configuration file, but not in the SQL prompt. Rather, we'll exit to the dollar prompt itself. We'll again exit to have a green prompt because that user was PostgreS, which was not a root user or super user. So we now have the green prompt by exiting two times, one from SQL, then one from PostgreS, because we switched that user. Now we will be issuing the nano command. Nano is an editor to open the PostgreSQL configuration file, where we need to do few changes. All the settings are defined inside this file. The listen addresses are also defined. If you want to listen from all the remote hosts, so we can put a static there instead of a local host, and whatever the lines are starting with a hash sign, those are commented. If you want to activate that line, you just remove the dash sign, so that the line is uncommented and working. So that was our, somehow mistakenly it was closed. reopen, and it is saying it is already open. We have reopened the file, the same file, and now we will see the various options here. The default values which comes when you install the PostgreSQL service. The port number is also mentioned here, 5433. Listen address need to be static in order to listen from all IP addresses, remote IP addresses, which is important. Otherwise, it will listen to only from itself, from the same system or same machine. It will not allow any remote connection. There are two layers basically. One is firewall and the other one is this. That's it. And now the other configuration file is pghba.config, where our settings are defined. There are also few changes which require to be done here. So this was the actual change, which will allow basically to accept from anywhere, the connection to be accepted from anywhere. So 0.0.0/0 means from any of the IP address it will accept the connection. The previous change listen star means it will listen from any port. Okay, so these two changes have been done in the configuration file. I will restart the PostgreSQL service for the changes to take place. Now, in order to see what ports are listening, we will issue netstate command. Netstate will show us the all the ports which are already available, which are listening. Various, I mean, software or packages are listened from those ports. So netstate command is not available because the required package, the net utilities need to be installed before we can go ahead with the netstate command. So net tools we need to install. The command is quite visible. Once it's installed, now netstate will work, and it's showing that 5432 port is PostgreSQL available for PostgreSQL, and it is listening to this port for, from all the IP addresses, and all the IP addresses plus any of the port. Static colon static means any from any of the port. So it means our database is now completely functional, and it is in working state. So after this, wget After this, we need to update the packages. Yeah, everything looks updated. So we'll start with the process of installing the PgAdmin web interface. So the command is sudo apt install pgadmin 4-web, and the required packages will be downloaded. Once it is downloaded, it will start the unpacking process. PgAdmin 4 server is now unpacking step, and the progress is going on. It is quite visible here. The progress bar is showing us the progress, and it seems that it has completed. Then we need to update as well, so that if there are later on any updates. Okay, now we can start the setup process of PgAdmin site. It is showing to enable the WSGI module, which is required here, and it has restarted as well the Apache web server. So now we can see our user account, which is our email address and the password, and we will log in to the credentials. And now you can see on the left hand side servers are available. We need to create a new server here, only a connection to the existing server here, to which we are connecting. Okay, now it is connected to super user root account, and we can see various databases are there, and table space, login details, and schemas. Tables are also there. So it means the PgAdmin site is working, and it is perfect. Thank you guys for watching the videos.